Hey, what up, my fans? This is a premiere view, and it's been a few weeks now since my last one. I'm going to do this after. We started watching part 4, not too long after. But I kind of forgot to continue. That's my bad. So, yeah, today, I'm doing the part 4 anime, and here's my copy of the Japanese version of the manga. James the highest star part 4, actually. And it's John going see the start in the manga. We're going to talk more about that in a bit, and when I review the manga version. Yeah, time of recording this, I'm almost done the part 4 manga. From the manga, I'm counting on the I'm an Alien storyline. We'll talk more about that arc a little bit later for the review. Anyway, part 4 was the first part I watched all the way through. First part I watched that I didn't have proper access to. Yeah, I did not have proper access to the anime, so I found a way to watch it because we didn't have it available here until quite recently, actually. I might repeat this in my review of Golden Wind, but I will hopefully, if I do get this done up in time, I won't be doing videos on Tuesday. I won't be doing I won't be continuing the JoJo review at least during the day on Tuesday. Why? March 10th, which is this Tuesday, the release of One Piece live action season 2. Yes, live action season 2 releases on Tuesday 10th. Today's the 8th, Sunday. Yeah. 2 months ago, actually, it's been my last review. I'm so sorry. I caught it really close this time. Nearly a week away. We're nearly a week away from the premiere of Steel Ball Run. So I got this week and the bit of next week. Basically, I got next 5 days, or next 6 days, plus the start of the next week. So, if I stick to it, I'll be done in the part, hopefully this week. Hopefully. Oh. But yeah, like I said, I'm almost done with the manga. I do plan to continue reading. I focus on the part 4 anime for a bit. I started watching again yesterday. Watch up to the Red Hot Chili Pepper arc. Get a little more detail about it a little bit later. So, once basically before the final portion of the story begins, it's like the total of 4 stand bows. It's not interlude between the final stand bow before the final bow against the main antagonist. What the fuck? What was that red light just then? I swear I just saw a red light somewhere over in the distance. It's weird. Anyway, I'm going on this. It's Sunday, March 8th at 10:31 p.m. So basically I have only 2 hours once I'm done to watch part 5. I'm not ready to part 5 manga yet because I'm still on the part 4 one, obviously. But I do plan to continue once I've done focusing. So if I have enough time on Tuesday, and if I already completed Golden Wind, then I can review Stone Ocean. Watch the first couple episodes of Stone Ocean in a day. Then watch the rest the next day if I can. So, here we are. Initially, part 4 was my favourite part. It's still good. I'm not saying it's my favourite now. It's not my favourite these days. But I still like part 4. Oh, I just like the cozy nature of it. Well, I mean, it's about time to get into the story. So we open up in a small town of Morio in the year 1999. Like he said, Morio was basically inspired by his hometown in Sendai. So, the entire part takes place in Morio. This is the first part to take place across one location, which will get a repeat around part 8. So that place takes place in Morio, just a whole different continuity. I did review part 8 manga, but it's something I'm not really that satisfied with, because I want to redo that alongside a Steelbook Run review. I'm viewing the manga as the March volume's release, since the both chapters release a bit before the volume does, and the final volume release is volume 8, which most likely is, since parts 4, 5, and 6 had 9 volumes. Since part 7 does have a lot more chapter pages, but still, it extends down into 8 volumes. As the description of volume 8 mentions Johnny and Gyro, basically confronting Fanny Valentine, the main antagonists of the part. Which is a bit of a spoiler. I apologise. Since we'll be seeing the adaptation, at least the first stage. Most likely be a weekly thing, so stage 1 is 1 minute special. So most likely it will release every night keeps on 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Thursday. Next Thursday. So it'll be airing every Thursday. And this will be the first part I watch from when it comes out, since I was around when Stone Ocean came out, but I wasn't really caught up on JoJo at the time. So I finished just watching tidy of parts 1 through 3 on Netflix. Then went and watched parts 4 and 5 in a different way. Then actually watching part 6 for my batch reviews, as you saw on the channel. You can find them on the channel easily. I make playlists now, so it'll be in Stone Ocean reviews. So it'll be a full season review. It'll be the first time I'm watching them again since the last one came out in December 2022. I think that's when it came out. Yeah. First batch came out in 2021. Yeah. Stone Ocean ended in December 2022. A whole thing happened with a long delay. Also, if you want to know the difference between the anime and the manga, sometimes the anime just makes some small changes to add to the manga. I recommend checking out Harmon Beats videos on that subject. They're really fascinating to watch. I love them. And Kiyoshino will be doing an entire video based on the first stage. There won't be that much content with it. So we'll see how he does that. I'll also be reading a lot of part 9. And currently, we're on a new portion of the story now called Act 2. So we'll see what Rocky's got planned for that. Who knows? Maybe within the next year, if they do start translating part 8, or next year or two, then they most likely begin in the entirety of part 8, then start translating part 9. They'll be able to catch up with the manga and officially release it monthly. Then we won't have to read fan translations. That's wishful thinking, though. And as I said, story takes place in Morio in the year 1999. 11 years so, around 10 years at the end of part 3, which ended in 1989. As we introduced to one of the new characters, Koichi Hirose, who really does play by Zach Angela, one of her Danjiro Gabadao in Demon Slayer, which is one of his great performances. And recently played the character Kazuno in Miraculous Tokyo Special. and probably reprising his role for the character next year for the sellable spin-off. But it's a whole thing, okay? Go just look it up. I don't know why 2027. Do they only? Is it taking a long time to finish the work or something? I don't freaking know. Pixie also happening. Anyway, so he ends up bumping into a familiar face, Jotaro Kujo, now older in his 20s. I see that Purple's art style, at least in the anime, is different, more softer. Here in the manga, this is what Koichi looks like. So, yeah. JoJo's looking for someone named Josuke Higashigata. He was a host. As that's going to happen, as I eventually introduced the young man. This is what Josuke looked like at the start. But compare how he looks later in the manga. And we learn that guy really does not like reptiles. But it seems to be a bit attitude when someone saying something bad about his hairstyle. See, Josuke's hairstyle is more of a hairstyle that delinquents wore. It's an old-fashioned hairstyle. Oh god, he's gonna beat me up. I get. But I didn't have effects that I would have just added that in for a comedic effect, but I don't do that stuff. I don't even know how. And Josuke is quite different to the other characters. Jonathan, Joseph, and Jojo are all buff dudes. Josuke is the first non-buff JoJo. I mean, he's not buff like Jotaro. He does have some muscles, but he's more of a thin. It's more thinner. Which even comments that Jotaro is big. So yeah, that Josuke's a stand user as well. And his stand's really cool. Now, as you know, the localization did technically start in part 1, but the starring localization didn't start until like part 3. Only for some of them, though. And character names too, like Steely Dan becoming Daniel Steele. It's a whole thing, okay, look it up. Like, I changed a lot of stand names, no, question. I watch Pop on Netflix, which is the only way to watch it officially in the UK now, since it's been no longer on Crunchyroll. Yeah, but some baffling reason, Crunchyroll has removed Part 4 from their streaming site. Why? And that is because of Netflix, because they were taking down parts 1 through 5 as well. I'm saying, it's just weird. But anyway, the Netflix's translation refers to the original names, not the localized ones. I'm not kidding. So you want an accurate translation of all the stand names and characters? Go watch the anime on Netflix. I think the Netflix version is a censored broadcast. In my views on both parts are part Stardust Crusaders. I mentioned that reason Netflix had the TV broadcast version, not the uncut version on Blu-ray. With high quality remaster. It's just a baffling decision. Like, if they wanted to uncut the series, they could ask Crunchy. They could literally go clean finish from the Blu-ray. Ask for the masters that were used for the Blu-rays to put on a streaming site. Or how get Crunchyroll to help. But that will do. But you get my fucking point. It's baffling that this happened. So, anyway, part 4 goes a bit more episodic compared to part 3. When it was episodic, but had more of an integral time narrative going into it. As missions did Trump is an 80-day travel to take down Dio once and for all. And it has time to build Josuke's backstory. Araki chooses the colors himself in the anime, since Araki likes to mix up colors a lot for the characters, so they don't have official colors. That's why if you play like older JoJo games before those specific parts got adaptations, you see why a lot of coloring is different. You've got Johnny and Gyro compared to the manga colors. He's a bank. That's like Shueisha's colors where Johnny wears blue. You understand what I mean. I'm looking forward to the anime. And they get Gas and David Mills as Johnny, the voice of freaking Frieza. The modern voice of Frieza is not the same actor, since Linda Young was the original voice of Frieza in the original Funimation dubs. Okay, taking this point, it seems Josuke's dad is able to see the reverse damage on something. Basically, repair. Anyway, Jojo ends up revealing some info about Josuke, how he's actually connected to the Joestar family. This is one of the most controversial decisions Araki's ever made about JoJo, as Josuke is the bastard son of Joseph Joestar. Yeah. I'm guessing Araki wants to try and can think of how to properly integrate a new JoJo into the story. And yeah, that's tricky. Like, that would be tricky, me too, so I guess he couldn't think of anything other ideas at the time. Which, yeah. I like Josuke as a character, yes, but how he's tied to Joseph like that really discredits Joseph as a character. It was seen pretty, especially coming from part 3, was he determined to rescue his daughter and seem loyal to his wife, not someone who would cheat. So maybe part 2, Joseph would have done that, but not part 3. And just seems a little bit odd, but it does get some good results later. But still, it's a bit controversial for a reason. I don't know, how would you introduce Josuke if you wrote part 4? Like, without the bastard son plotline. Anyway, Josuke's mother is Tomoko Higashigata. And his grandpa's name Ryohei Higashigata. Ryohei is a local police officer in Morio. So, comes to this part, Araki, it's pretty obvious that Araki had no idea where to go with the story, as it's not exactly a true proper main antagonist till later on. Yeah. So the anime does a good job of acting the character a little bit early on, giving a few visual cameos. His major focus at the end of the Red Hot Chili Pepper arc. In the same arc, you see his cameo a bit early on. Like I said, the anime did a good job. But I think the movie was great in its own right, which I will talk about, don't worry. I promise to talk about the movie. But I think I'll wait when we're done covering part 4's manga. Then cover the other adaptation. Togo is not so good, not so bad movie. It's a good movie, in my opinion. Also, I have it on DVD. And I placed it in there, so it's going to be a pain in the ass to get out. But still. There's also technically another adaptation of part 4 in the Rohan dramas. But those are a little different. Let's just get this quickly. Alright. So yeah, JoJo initially came here to talk about, as it says, since Joseph initially discovered Josuke's existence. Also, a little incident going on in Morio. Because of Joseph trying to use Honopono trying to track down Josuke. get showing off, showing some type of dangerous person. Looks like this person is a stand user. Who JoJo was investigating. Right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you so Josuke and Koichi end up becoming quick friends. Right in school, they end up dealing with a type of incident. Robert going crazy. After Josuke beats the crowd after he insulted his hair, Rex being trapped by a stand aqua necklace. The stand is compared upon to Angelo Katagiri, aka Angelo, a dangerous serial killer. Of course, not as dangerous as another character we meet later. But again, spoilers for later. Anyway, Joe. So yeah, no, that he wants to get revenge on Josuke. Basically, he was sentenced to hang, but yet survived and waiting his stand. But Koichi's absent for this arc most of the point because he's not really a stand user, just a normal high school student, and he's short for his height. And also, I forgot to mention, JoJo's once again played by Matt Massa in the dub, and for Josuke, they got Billy Kametz, who one of his later roles was as Maruki in Persona 5 Royal, one of the best antagonists out there. Oops. Spoiler. Sorry. He's a great character too. He's an antagonist, but not a bad character. Go play the third semester. It's good. It's a great, well-told story that really doesn't make Maruki out to be the bad guy, even though he technically is the villain of the story. Morley, though, what he's doing is wrong. He's a great character. Again, it's a go look at a story or play it. He's a great character. And you do understand his business. He's doing it for good, doing it to help. Right, back on topic. Okay, it all else happens. And it's when Josuke ends up counting Angelo again. Angelo ends up killing Ryohei. Yeah. That's what, it's supposed to serve a Josuke's motivation, but something to protect the town. But we don't know much about Ryohei. We know he's a good cop, but he only had another one appearance prior to this in the first episode, which was our introduction to Tomoko as well. I'm just saying, I like how the movie handled him a little better. Again, though, I'll get there when I get there. Be sure to subscribe to Kai's Attention for that. I'm going to try to do collaboration, but I'll collaborate 3 channels for that one. Anime, manga, and stuff. I'm going to try it this time. I don't know what, but I'll have to give it a go. Anyway. So yeah. Sometime later after Ryohei's funeral, Josuke stand can't bring people back from the dead. Sad moment, but yeah, they eventually face up against Angelo. And now Josuke defeats Angelo in a satisfying way. Not killing him. And you notice this part has a lack of stand user deaths. Yeah, bigger part 3. Most of the stand users end up dying, but only a few survived. Those characters survived. Some of them survived. Say, Oingo Boingo Brothers, Mariah, Ho Horse, etc. Steve Dad's still alive, I think. So is the user of Wheel of Fortune. So those characters still alive, but a lot more died across the part. As, of course, this makes Part 5, though, has a lot more deaths. Has a lot more, because the characters aren't exactly morally good people. They're, I'll say that for Part 5. Yeah. Angelo becomes the new landmark of Morio, the Angelo Rock. It's satisfying. Before he was trying to work, he mentions that that one night in his cell, the day before he was executed, a mysterious man shot him with a bow and arrow. He managed to survive it, but then he wakened his stand. So those bow and arrow have something to do with stands. Well, we're on time to draw that. So, arc is over. When we get another story, but we jump right into the next arc as well. Creatures are getting curious as the building. They saw someone in there, a building. Josuke ends up encountering the Nijimura brothers, Okuyasu Nijimura, and the slamming Koichi's head in the gate. And his older brother upstairs shot him with the bow and arrow. Also, Josuke ended up dealing with Okuyasu, who's not really bright. Okuyasu's stance called the Hand, and he can erase the space in between. Also, Josuke's stand got named at the end of the previous story. His stand's name is Crazy Diamond, or Shining Diamond if you're watching the English dub. Again, localized names due to copyright. Yeah. I guess we run this. After defeating Okuyasu, Josuke ends up dealing with his brother. After showing some humility with Okuyasu, Okuyasu ends up helping out Josuke once. That's it. So his brother's name is Keicho Nijimura, and his stands called Bad Company, or Worst Company. A colony type stand. Military. And well, because Josuke healed Koichi, he seems to have the potential to awaken a stand, as he's now able to see them. And stands only an egg, because he just awakened to that power to stand, as in fully form what powers he wants to be. Anyway, Josuke ends up defeating Keicho. He was trying to find a stand used to kill his father. His father was someone who was under the control of Dio. After Dio's death, the flesh blood inside of him turned him into a monster. There's a sympathetic moment too, as even though he doesn't remember much, he's all does in his heart remember his sons. Again, cutting down a lot, but it's a great story. It's a great arc. I was then again attacked by a standing red hot chili pepper. We want one violence used until a little bit later. Keicho was killed protecting Okuyasu. No, it doesn't say Okuyasu, but he'll find red hot chili pepper, but he's not doing it for revenge because he knew someone would come to kill Keicho. So he ends up allying himself with Josuke. And when the following arc ends up going for Koichi as he deals with Stern using Tamami and his stand to lock. No, basically the stand works on guilt. He just uses to make money. But during the whole incident, Koichi was able to awaken his stand echoes, or reverb. I don't know why they changed that. One, echoes is not copyrighted, no matter if it's a weapons or not. It's not copyrighted because you can't copyright the word echo. No, echo. Otherwise, a lot of products won't be able to use the word. So it baffles me that they changed it. It makes no damn sense. They get the hang the same. Seriously, it's just dumb. Echo's ability seems to manifest sound on people. Pretty cool, but not that strong of an ability for now. So more useful for support, not combat. Yeah. Tamari learns immunity. By the way, in the manga he was taller. It's changing the anime having short from the start. As he was to be became short. And then the following arc dealt with Hazamata and his stand Serpes. Or show off in the dub. Where Serpes is able to impersonate someone that touches it. Right down to the detail. And basically, with once in Hazamata in range. Once it's in range, can manipulate the person's copies. Manipulate the body of the person's copies. But Hazamata is defeated. They reveal something that some of those Stan users, that they're attracted to each other. So yeah, we get some small fights before the next portion of the story. Like, good and alright, I'm just saying. Before we finally get to the Hedgehog arc, we get another arc for Koichi's growth. We introduced to Yukiko Yamagishi, a girl who became obsessed with Koichi and is ballistic insane. Like, psycho. Koichi's able to stop her. Yukiko's stand is called Love Deluxe. It's basically manipulating strands of her hair to do basically involves her hair. Think of it like Medusa of a marble. Think away. Of course, Rocky once when they must never stand Love Deluxe decades later, but call it Love Deluxe, appearing in part 8. Can't wish we saw that stand in action a little more. Anyway, jokes. So yeah. Anyway, during the whole thing, Koichi's stand evolved, becoming Echo's Act 2. Now I was able to officially manifest the sound, not just create in the ear. Like, actually create the sound effects. And they work like them. Get very comic booky like. And that's a compliment. So yeah, Yukiko won't be a kid until a little bit later. And I'll talk about that when I get there. But it's finally time for the Red Hot. And before that though, we do have another introduction of a character, Antonio Tuasasi. Am I saying that right? He was an Italian who came to Japan and to bring people joy. And I feel he's also a stand user, but not an enemy. He also really cleverly made us think he was an enemy, but he wasn't. And he doesn't say he was pierced by the arrow. It looks like he awakened his stand naturally. So he awakened his stand naturally. So Koichi. So yeah, his stand is called Pearl Jam. Now finally get to the Red Hot Chili Pepper arc. As they deal with it. They're not dealing with Red Hot Chili Pepper. Ogasi could never he was too strong. But Josuke is inbound user Akira Otoshi. We talk about Josuke defeats Akira. But of course he escapes. But because the whole thing is about Joseph coming to Morio. And how about tracking down? And how about tracking down the bow and arrow, which was used to create stands. So by Enyaba, I forgot about that. Actually, to say that. Yeah, but Ogasi being an idiot actually managed to defeat, probably to get payback on him. So yeah, the Toshima confess about hours. But that's not the least of the I was introduced to a new threat. Yoshikage Kira. Seems like an ordinary man, but he has killed people. And it ties in the character Reimi Sugimoto. But we'll get there and get there. First though, we get a specific storyline before that. Introduction of Kishibe Rohan. A manga artist whose stand is called Heaven's Door. He's able to read people like a book. As you know, but Chelsea managed to win because he was too enraged. That's all fan. We also know Josuke's backstory. Basically, during the events of Stardust Crusaders, there was a snowstorm in Morio, and Tomoko was trying to get into the hospital, but because of the snowstorm and the car engine, couldn't get there. But the delinquent who seemed to be going to the same high school as Josuke, must be the only school in Morio, pushes to save him. Some people think that was Josuke from like Jonah Pop. I initially thought so too, but I was stupid. It's not. It's just for it's just a delinquent that's obviously wearing a similar uniform because he probably went to the same high school. So yeah, just they never found out who that guy was, but Josuke styled his hair after him, and well, basically someone stole his hair and sold to him. The man who saved him. That's actually pretty cool. So yeah, Rohan was on break for a while because of that. I think he kind of deserved it though. You think he's just gonna this is where he goes, but now he's tied into Raimi. He's tied into Raimi Sugimoto. After a bit while he recovers, he reunites. He runs into Koichi. Koichi a little to trust him, but also Heaven's Door's going powerful to become physically manifest, as picked up by Rohan's character. In the whole competition, her Ghost Alley, Raimi reveals she was killed by a serial killer. She did not know who his name was, but we know his name is Kira. That's what it was revealed, actually. My bad. I got carried away there. So, 15 years ago, she was murdered by Kira. Her and her entire family. Koichi agrees to help the killer, but Josuke brings up a good point. Don't let JoJo or Joseph find out about this. Also, at the end of the Red Hot Chili Pepper arc, Josuke and Joseph had a good moment, and there was another arc where they find a baby with an invisibility stand. It was not even named. It's a whole arc. And kind of down some filler story. Not bad. I'm just saying, it's kind of down for story time. As Kira looks in the background throughout the part. So Josuke, sorry. Also, Rowan ends up finding out his parents were good friends with the neighbors, the Sugimotos. Yeah, they used to babysit him a lot, and because they had to go on emergency, they basically ducked alcohol that night. Rowan was only 4 years old at the time. He might be doesn't remember it, sadly. Maybe he's the one who saved him. That hit hard. And the only one survivor was a 4-year-old who couldn't understand what was happening. It's truly sad. So Kira. So yeah. Seems like Kira might be a stand user, as he somehow severing women's hands, and no one seems to find any traces of a body. And to get away with it for 15 years. Also, a little bit later, but I don't know. We get 2 specific story arcs that set up that portion. As we introduce to Shigechi, a middle schooler who seems to be a nice guy. Josuke and Oki also be friends. I'll bring more money, and well, Shigechi gets greedy in the stand with him. Well, they seem to make up for that. Again, Shigechi's a little weird, but he's not a bad kid. Can be greedy sometimes. Now, the anime actually did swap around this story arc. So in the manga, this arc did not come until right after the next one, which, in my opinion, did hurt a little at the pacing of the story. So, right, Shigechi ends up coming across Kira, ends up getting killed, but manages to snag the button. I don't guarantee. Then came the sheer heart attack arc, but of course the anime placed that before Shigechi's death, which introduced Aya Suzuki and the stand Cinderella. There's a great arc focused on Yukiko, showing her growth as a character. Well, Rohan just got bumped up to a main character now. That's pretty rare. But I agree, I like Rohan. So, yeah. Now Shikachi's dead. It's really emotional. Now about to find a killer who was obviously a stand user. Discover Kira stands called Killer Queen. Or Deadly Queen. It can create explosions. Right, anything it touches. It's horrifying. And well, that basically, in the anime, leads to the next arc. Because I said the Cinderella arc came after this arc in the manga. Which hurt the pacing, in my opinion, more in terms of pacing specifically, more so in tone. As we just had a depth of a character who was just too kind. We just had a depth of a character. And we get an arc focus on Yukiko before that. That'd be fine if the She-Hulk arc came a little bit more later. No, it's directly after, so that definitely hurt the flow of the story a bit. So I think the anime made the right decision of placing the Cinderella arc before the Kira proper introduction of Kira stand. So when Koichi ends up running to Johto, they investigate the bud, but attacked by an ultimate stand ability of Killer Queen called Sheer Heart Attack. Well, because Koichi does not listen to Johto will get hurt. Koichi made another mistake though by being smart and calling Josuke early on. And he ends up growing as a character. But his hair reflects his growth. Basically, when his Act 2 debuted, he cut his hair to look more like things on JoJo's. Now he's got spiky hair similar to Goku from Dragon Ball, which also appeared when he first used the stand back in pretty early on in the part. So, yeah. Kira. Koichi stand goes into Echo's Act 3. More different. And has a quite different ability. It uses gravitational force. It uses a gravity ability. Unlike the comic book-like abilities from the previous forms. It just reflects his growth. I should take Hashi out of of course counts Kira, who's fed up with the trouble that caused him. And he kills Koichi. Luckily, Johto comes in to save Koichi and beat up Kira. Josuke and Noki also arrive. And they will find out who Kira was, because Kira got so reckless and Josuke is not stupid. Anyway, Kira manages to escape and, well, basically uses Aya's Cinderella stand to change his appearance. and he ended up killing Aya. So you don't know who he is. Kira's escaped again and now in hiding. We end up finding out he's on the entity Kosaku Kawajiri. That's it. The identity of Kosaku Kawajiri. But of course, Kosaku's son, Naito, is really smart. Makes a great detective. But I think after he ends the path, when he grows up, he might join the Speedwagon Foundation since he ends up finding out the whole stand thing. It's also not introduced Kira's father, Yoshihiro Kira, who's basically a spirit trapped in a photo. But of course, his ability is like a stand, so his name is Atom Heart Father. About begins escaping with a copy of the bow and arrow. So any of us sold more. Explains how Dio was able to suddenly get a large group of stand users so quickly. So I like how the bow and arrow is created and make more sense and really did well tie into Smile 3, seeing how new stand users came to be. And how Dio was able to awaken to a stand. Since he never had any potential to use one before. So now checking Kira down. These are some small stories. One of the best ones is the Roshan bullfight. There's no word for rock, paper, scissors. It's a great art because it's really creative. It shows how Rocky can be really creative with a fight. It doesn't use any fist fight. It's all about just a simple game. Rock, paper, scissors. Or John, Ken, Bo. As going for it. Yeah, Rocky turns rock, paper, scissors into a high tense bow. This is so cool. That's something Yu-Gi-Oh could do as well. I'm surprised there was never been an arc in the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga that did that. It's like the Derby fights in part 3. They didn't rely on punching. They were really creative. But yeah, we get a 3-part story that takes place across the same day. 3 separate stand fights happen. 2 of them happen simultaneously. As we get but of course, before that, we get the I'm an Alien storyline and the Highway Star arc, where Josuke and Okuyasu meet a guy named Mikitaka who claims to be an alien, but seems might not be. It's left purposely ambiguous, so he isn't sticking around for a while. And he appears it again. Well, Josuke uses him to try and cheat Rohan the money, as he's broke after some events that happened. The whole film situation happened. As Highway Star, Rohan ends up getting captured by Highway Star instead. Josuke ends up becoming the next target. Going across town with Koichi's help, they finally use it in Yuya Fugami, who got injured previously, and then wake into the stand back to the arrow. But Josuke ends up kicking his ass when he called Do, which I have no clue what that means either. Ora and Dora, I have no clue what they mean. Can you imagine when JoJo used stand brushes that were unique? These days, part 7, 8, and 9 just use Aura now. Come on, Aura, can you give us new stand words? I can understand what Muda, it makes sense for Journal too. Again, I'll get there for part 5. So, yeah. Anyway, we get the Superfly fight. The whole stand has a tire tower itself. Yeah, Rocky got really creative. There's a cheap trick fight, but more on that a little bit later. Because none of these fights happen separately, but now they may alter some of them to happen simultaneously. So after that, they came the Enigma fight with Yuya Fugami helping out. Koichi gets captured, and Koichi ends up helping out Rohan in the cheap trick fight. And they find out Ayato, and ends up discovering who his dad really is, a dangerous killer. And well, Kira ends up killing him out of retaliation. And the owl given a new ability, bites to dust. Like, basically, it's a bomb that activates when someone is looking into him, kills him. Ito appears today multiple times, and he can't change fate. But one day, though, to try and use Stray Cat's help, which is another thing that happened. A cat got shot when I became a stand user after being accidentally killed. It's kind of cute though for a plant. So yeah, Hayato managed to call Josuke a little early. Leaving out of standby. With Loki also getting really injured and basically dying. It's a really good standby final battle against Kira. Well, it seems like it's over with Josuke because luck somehow is on Kira's side. With Stray Cat being inside Kira's stand, and simply protecting itself because it means Josuke was attacking it. But luckily, Yokoyasu survived, came in to help. And when Koichi, Rohan, and Jotaro arrived too, they seemed around. Now, as you understand the situation, it's over. Because Kira tried to use Bite the Dust on the glass. It seems like it works, but it didn't. He ended up being killed thanks to Koichi's help. Jotaro gave respect for Koichi, hence why part 5 was the way it does. Okay, spoiler. So Josuke. It's a real shame that Josuke is not the one who did the final blow, but Jotaro. You gotta put a blow against Dio in part 3. Why not get Josuke to final blow? He's the protagonist. But it's just a nitpick because it was awesome. And Kyo's now dead. And he goes, Harry, as all the people he killed can now finally rest in peace. As he's gone forever. Again, I'm actually saying goodbye to Amy. And it's a really emotional one. Everyone's there to say goodbye. You know she wasn't around long? It's about sad to see her go. I mean, because it's sad because we've come to the end of the part. As Jojo and Joseph leave Mario now, since the mission's done. And Josuke proving why he's definitely Joseph's son. It's a really good... And, well, as their lives just go on like normal, because... it ends with Josuke doing his final pose. And that was part 4. Didn't go much detail, I'm sorry. But I love JoJo, and I really like Mario. It just feels like you lived there. You were there with these characters. You know the entire place. I think that's why part 4 was unique. Why it worked. It made you love the town. Like you're actually there. Like it's a place you want to visit. And saying goodbye to the town makes it hits hard. But we will see Mario again, just not this Mario. Yeah, part 8 Mario. Again, I plan to review on part 8. Maybe wait for the English translation to come out to properly review it. Then go back and fully read the mangas for a proper review. So, sorry there's been a one on again. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please hit the thumbs up button. Want to see more, subscribe channel, next channel, please come be sure to stay tuned on my manga channel, where I'll be covering the manga soon. I don't know when, because I want to focus on the anime for a bit, catching up before the Steelbook 1 edition comes out. So, I don't know when that'll be, but hopefully it'll be soon. But for now, I thank you for watching, and if you want to watch this video story, read the manga, or watch the anime. Live in the US, watch it on Crunchyroll, it's better. But of course, watching the Japanese version is a true experience to actually properly experience JoJo in its original format. No name changes. So, thank you. I will see you guys next time. Of course, you'll be seeing this video next week. Next week. Kill Felix out.